Yo, what's up? It's will.i.am.
Taboo.
Apple Diap.
And we the Black Eyed Peas.
The road to success is always under construction, and we are the architects and the builders of that path.
Try my best to have love with no limits and turn strangers into friends and friends into family.
I'd like to spread big love.
Big, big love. Big, big love. All that we have.
Yep.
All that we're made of. Is big, big love.
What?
Big, big love.
will.i.am, Taboo, Apple Diap. Hello.
Hello.
Big Love, I feel like we need that song at the moment. I wanted to play it to people on the bus this morning. Tell us about the thoughts going into that creation.
There's certain songs that we've had in our lives that took a long time to make. Let's Get It Started took a long time to make. Where's the Love took a long time to make. Big Love took another one. It took a long time to make that song.
Many different versions of the beat.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, guys, check it out. I got a new version.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm like, oh, darn it. It's not it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I know it's not it, because I see the facial expressions on Apple, and Taboo's either honesty or like, yeah, it's cool. What's convincing is like, that's it.
Broke the code.
We ain't never giving up. Now we got our hands up. We can't breathe cause they hearts ain't big enough. All we need is just us. Hate got you guessing. War is the answer, but really what's the question? Money got us stressing. Fear got us flexing. Phones got us zoned out. Now we lose connection.
The way it rings, like, it's like it just cries. And the way the chorus is like, all that we are, all that we're made of is big, big love. Like, I don't understand why the world is the way it is if all that we are is love.
So he's like, Tab, I broke the code. No, seriously, I broke the code. When you get a double seriously, I broke the code, that's when you know it's serious.
It's 20 years since your first record, Behind the Front. Masters of the Sun is your 7th studio album. It's your first together in 8 years. Why now?
So the why now is saluting and paying homage and thanking those wild and crazy versions of ourselves when we were 23 is the reason why. If you're having a 20-year anniversary, you want it to reflect your entry to the industry.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why the mood, the tempo, the tone, the vibe is very nostalgic to the music we were making at 23.
And it's like making the first album again. It's that excitement, like finding like obscure like loops or samples, like, oh my God. And then, of course, as musicians, we've grown up, and now we could approach in the way we make music into transition in a sophisticated manner, you know?
What's up, everybody? Black Eyed Peas. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom. 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 That boom, boom, boom. That boom, boom, boom.
And you're one of the best-selling groups of all time. I wanted to ask each of you what each of you brings to the table. Like Apple, what does will.i.am bring to the table in the group, 20 years together?
Big brother.
Ooh, and now he's older than me.
Yeah, true. Not true, you know?
Big brother, he's older than me.
And Will makes you believe in yourself when you don't see it. Me coming from the Philippines, being adopted. But then again, at the same time, I was legally blind. I didn't know what I was gonna be. And Will encouraged me to rap. And you know what? And then I saw something that I'm good at. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this.
And you talked about there being legally blind. I only learnt that recently because it's quite unbelievable watching you perform. How do you do it? What an example to people.
Yeah, I do a lot of mental memorization. I go beforehand and look at the stage, and then, you know, music, it's what gave me the gift. You know, I didn't need my vision. All I needed was my soul, my heart, and my brain.
will.i.am, what does Taboo bring to the table?
So I'm shy with opening up to strangers. I'm shy with like, I'm resistant. Like, I hold back a lot. And Tab's like, his fearlessness, his warrior spirit, he brings that to the P's, because Leave It Up to Me and Apple, we're like, no, we're cool. We're just gonna stay. We're gonna stay over here, like no, don't need to bother. We don't want to bother anybody.
Taboo, what about Apple?
App's the reason why we all met. He's one of my favorite MCs, writers, amazing dancer. He's a very humble dude, does a lot for the Philippines, and it inspires me to be more active in my own communities and do my part. They both are. They're both very active, and they inspire me to continue doing my philanthropy work and just to not just be an artist, but also be involved in affecting change.
You're very inspirational, though, because of your own personal story. It's 4 years now that you've been free from cancer.
Yeah. It's the beginning of a new chapter. We've got to go through therapy, and we're going to be strong, but we're going to do this.
You fought and won against cancer, and you've been talking out about it instead of just trying to forget about it like lots of people would. You've become a bit of a spokesperson, haven't you?
Yeah, I embrace that responsibility of being also a person that is part of pop culture, that's able to speak to the youth through music, but now I'm able to amplify the voice of the people that need inspiration and hope, especially when you're going through such a horrible disease. There's a lot of times where you don't have someone to really inspire you to get through these times. And I took it as a blessing that I beat cancer, for not only to be there with my wife and my kids, but also to help others. When you have a platform like the Black Eyed Peas and you're just making it about yourself, then I feel like you're wasting that voice that speaks to millions of people. But if you're helping and you actually affect change and have those conversations about ways of prevention, ways to inspire the youth not to go through the same trauma that I went through, then that's something very important to me.
Life could be terrible. Life is unbearable. Life is just crazy.
In the video Get It, you reference modern America. We see police brutality. We also see a lookalike Donald Trump. You guys are all role models for the youth of today. Do you think the idea of the American dream still exists today like it did before?
Good question.
The American dream is everywhere. American dream's in Holland. It's in Switzerland. It's even in China now. And we being Americans are proof and a testament to that dream is still alive. Your contribution to have a better society.
Life is so wonderful. Life is so beautiful. Life is amazing.
In Big Love, you sing, we're living in a time where we're fighting to survive. You sing, our leaders are embarrassing. How much damage do you think Donald Trump is doing to America?
I believe in America and people to know that Donald Trump's not just the only American. There's, hundreds of millions of us that contribute to the world through art, through entrepreneurship, activism, philanthropy. I believe in the people far more than one leader that has, 4 to 8 years. There's ups and downs to everything. Every flight has a little bit of turbulence. And this is that little shaky part where you're like, put your seatbelt on. Stay in your seat, right? You ain't using the restroom. You're gonna pee all over the place. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ring the alarm, 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 ring the alarm. Wake up!
In the track Ring the Alarm, maybe you could sing it for me, but they don't teach kids nothing. All they know is, can you do it for me?
They don't know division. All they know is about that sugar in their muffin. They don't know division, don't act to nothing. Send them off to prison when you know they did nothing.
How do we change this iPad sugar culture that you're talking about there for kids in our society?
The iPad thing, that one is hard because, technology is such a driving force to not only the youth, but to everyday life.
I'll go to my mom right quick. So I have a little brother. My mom adopted him. He just turned 20. And my mom comes up to me last Christmas and says, I think it's time for him. He could have a phone now. So I'm like, wait a second, Mom. he hasn't had a phone this whole time. She was like, no, boy. What did he do at school? He went to school to learn. What about social media? He don't do social media. But now he could have one. He's earned it. So my mom is very like,
Yeah, just like my sister too.
Though. You're about to go on your first tour in years, a European tour. How are you feeling?
Excited. You know, it's the last show we did was 2 shows. We did Romania, which was for 100,000 people, and then we did Mexico right after that. And it kind of revved us up and showed us like, wow, people are excited and ready for us to come back as touring around the world.
And what's it like without Fergie?
It's like what it was before we met Fergie. And that is the Builders. And we love Fergie. Fergie's awesome. She's always going to be our sister. But there was a life before Fergie. And that life that we were was we built roads to make it comfortable for a Fergie to travel on.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? So when she joined the P's, it wasn't a turbulent flight. She hopped on a vehicle that was flying.
Yeah.
Have you got a message for the fans?
Yo, what's up? P-Bodies all around the world. We are going to start up the engines and we're coming to your countries, Germany, Canada, Poland, France, Hungary, Brasilia, Cuba, Mexico, Taiwan, Indonesia. Can't wait to go to freaking South Africa. Yeah, we coming for the world.
TikTok, you don't stop. We keep it constant. 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 You don't stop. Constant.
Hi, I'm Natalie Savaricas, and you'll usually find me in news, reporting on Greece's enduring financial turmoil and protests, but also the refugee emergency, here on France 24.
Natalie Savaricas, one of the 160 France 24 correspondents around the world.